Hello and welcome to another episode of Ross on Cars. I'm Ross Furlong and this is an Aston Martin DB11, very kindly lent to me by Nick here at Supercar Experiences in St Albans. I thought it'd be interesting to do a review of this as an outgoing model really, with a DB12 coming in. This was a very important car for Aston Martin when it launched back in 2016, and really it is a superb car. So I just wanted to remind myself of what all the fuss was about back then and take it out for a bit of a drive. But first I just want to take you around the car and show you a few of the very special things that Aston Martin did when they launched this. So the DB11, when it was introduced, was on an all-new aluminium platform. The bonnet's aluminium. Underneath the bonnet was a 5.9 litre twin-turbo V12. Creates about 600 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.9 and 200 miles per hour. Great aerodynamics on this car as well. It's a Marek Reichman design, so he did some clever stuff with the air. Gets taken out of the back wheels through these strakes here, which stops the front lifting. Also gets sent down these side vents at the back, behind the B post, the back pillars, and comes out of an aero blade, is what I think what they call it, on the back of the car. So no spoiler as such, a bit like Ferrari's philosophy. Didn't spoil the lines, but I have to say it really is a very, very beautiful car. This, just look at the lines on it. It's really, really stunning. And you know what, 7-8 years old now, still has not aged, still looks really beautiful. Yeah, so here we go with the lights. I didn't realise this when I first looked at the car, but the lights are designed to look again like the wings from the Aston Martin badge. When you look around the car as a piece of design, the detail of it, it's really very impressive, and it's beautiful, and it's very well thought out. Yeah. The interior, however, mixed reviews on the interior. Let's go and have a look at it. So yeah, in here in the Aston Martin DB11 interior, I mean, it's very lovely. It's nice. It's it feels sporty. You're in a nice enclosed cockpit, high quality leather all round. I think Aston Martin up to their leather game when it comes to this car. Alcantara roof. There were some complaints, not complaints, but if there was any criticism about this car when it came out, it was about the switchgear. That obviously it's using Mercedes components or Daimler components, and this is all part of Aston, I suppose, upping the game with this particular car. But you know, it's all very nice. It's all very nicely done. When you switch things on, you get lots of lovely stuff coming up on the screens. Anybody familiar with Mercedes can kind of work these trackpads, and it's quite intuitive. This sat nav. Oh, one thing you might not have noticed, let me just turn it off, is that this has the Bang & Olufsen stereo. So these little speakers in the dashboard come up. Had those in my Vanquish. Love those. Love those. Perfect. It's 100 watt, 1000 watt stereo in this car. So you just heard a bit of a blast of it there. So yeah, I mean, you could be, you could quibble a bit about the interior not being quite, what you might hope for, but it's certainly to a high standard. Apart from maybe the odd bit of switchgear. These days, of course, 2023, we're used to seeing these new dashboards with like a massive iPad in them. But I dare say the DB12 will improve on that. But it's all good. It's all good. Right, let's take it out for a drive. See what we think of it. Well, I have to admit I'm struggling a little bit with this test drive. I can't really find anywhere apart from dual carriageway and town centre and suburbia to really give it some welly or throw it around some corners. So it's a little bit tricky, but my impressions of the car are that it is fantastically fast in a straight line. It just takes a little bit of time to pick its skirts up. There's a slight little bit of lag, but once it gets going, my word, it gets going. It makes a fantastic noise as well. People seem to like it. I've noticed people seem to be smiling and sort of letting you out of junctions, which is a nice thing. But then it is an Aston Martin. They are pretty popular, really. The story might be a bit different if I was in a Ferrari. I don't know. Overall, it's just a very lovely thing to be in. It does feel a bit old tech, I suppose, but I don't mind that. I mean, I liked my Vanquish as much. It's just as good, and it does beg the question. These things are getting down to about 75k, which is around about the point of the Vanquish as well now, the early Vanquishes. Well, which one would you go for? It's going to be a tough choice, really. Feels quite big, this car. I love the shape of it. The shape of it, the noise of it. It's just a very cool machine. It feels quite big. It feels quite big. It's not at its best on these little roads, I don't think, really. I think it's better on it's going to be better on dual carriageway. It's going to be better on motorways. These little roads here, stopping and starting, feels a little bit out of its sort of comfort zone. But yeah, I mean, wow, what a fantastic car. And does beg the question, DB10, what is that going to be like? Oh, I'd love to get my hands on one of those. Press office, if you're if you're watching my little channel, I'd love to have a go. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to have time to do any outside shots today, mainly because there's nowhere to do them. I can't really find anywhere that's sort of quiet enough, the country lane where your tripod might not get nicked. So yeah, might have to be without any outside shots. So if I get a chance later on, I'll do some, but that might have to be it. But yeah, farewell to the DB11, and hello DB12. I'm going to continue doing 6 miles an hour now. Ciao for now. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Ross on Cars. If you did, press like down below and also subscribe because we've got lots of interesting cars coming up. If you'd like to drive this car, you can. Just contact Nick at Supercar Experiences. I'll leave his details at the end of the video. And also, if you have any interesting cars that you'd like me to review for you, let me know because I'm always on the lookout. Hope to see you next time.